My brothers and sisters, have you ever wondered why the very thing you are trying to escape keeps pulling you back? Why the habit you hate is the habit you keep returning to? Why every time you fall into that addiction, your heart feels heavier, your soul feels more distant, and your life feels more empty? Let me tell you something that might shake your heart today. Sometimes the addiction you think is destroying you is actually the message that Allah is using to save you. When you are losing yourself, when you are drowning in guilt, when you are trapped in a cycle you can't break, that is not Allah abandoning you. That is Allah calling you. That is Allah waking you up. That is Allah saying, my servant, this is not who you are. Come back to me before you break completely. And if you understand this message, your entire life can change today. 1. Your heart starts feeling heavier after the same sin every time. One of the clearest signs that Allah is sending you a message through your addiction is that your heart simply refuses to remain at ease with that sin anymore. In the beginning, the habit might have felt enjoyable. It may have given you a temporary rush, a sense of escape, or a moment where you could forget your stress and pain. You may have thought you were in control, that this was just something small, something harmless, something you could stop whenever you wanted. But slowly, without you even noticing, Allah begins to place a weight inside your chest, a heaviness that grows stronger every time you return to that same act. What once felt comforting begins to feel suffocating. What once felt fun begins to feel draining. What once distracted you begins to haunt you the moment it ends. This heaviness is not Allah punishing you, it is Allah protecting you. It is your heart telling you that this habit is not who you are, that it will never bring you real peace, and that it is pulling you away from the path Allah created for you. You feel guilty not because you are a bad person or a hopeless sinner, but because your soul is still alive, your heart is still sensitive. Your connection to Allah is still beating inside you, refusing to die no matter how many times you fall. The guilt is a sign that your natural purity, the fitrah Allah placed within you, is fighting back. It is reminding you that you were not created to live in cycles of shame, regret and addiction. Many people commit sins and feel nothing. Many indulge in haram and sleep peacefully without a single drop of remorse. But you, despite your mistakes, you feel uneasy. You feel disturbed. You feel a weight pressing on your chest. This is one of the greatest mercies of Allah upon you, because it means He has not turned away from you. It means your heart is still responsive. It means your soul still remembers where it belongs. When Allah loves someone, He does not allow their heart to feel comfortable in something that harms them. He uses guilt as a gentle alarm, a spiritual warning, a reminder that you are drifting away from who you truly are. The heaviness you feel is Allah telling you, I am still here. Your heart still belongs to me, and I will not let you destroy yourself with something that harms your soul. What feels like discomfort is actually divine mercy. What feels like inner conflict is actually Allah pulling you back before you go too far. The heaviness is not a burden, it is a sign of hope. It means you still care. It means Allah still cares. And it means the door of change is still open for you, no matter how many times you have fallen. 2. Allah makes you realize that the addiction no longer gives you peace. Another powerful sign that Allah is sending you a message through your addiction is when the thing that once gave you comfort suddenly stops giving you any peace at all. In the beginning, the addiction may have felt like a safe escape. It may have numbed your stress, distracted your mind, or filled the emptiness you were trying to avoid. You may have run toward it thinking it was the only thing that understood you, the only thing that gave you relief, the only thing that made life feel bearable for a moment. But with time, Allah removes the sweetness from the sin. What once felt like a hiding place slowly becomes a prison. The same habit you used to look forward to begins to feel empty, meaningless, and even painful. This loss of pleasure is not coincidence. It is not a psychological shift. It is Allah gently showing you the truth. This addiction was never meant to give your heart real peace. Allah allows the illusion to fade so you can finally see that the habit is not healing you. It is breaking you. It is not filling you. It is draining you. It is not lifting you. It is pulling you deeper into a hole you were never meant to fall into. You start to notice that the moment the pleasure ends, a wave of sadness follows. The moment the distraction fades, the guilt begins. The moment the escape is over, the reality feels even heavier than before. Allah removes the comfort from the sin because He does not want you to settle for a life beneath your potential. He does not want you to become dependent on something that destroys your inner peace. When He loves you, He does not let the haram satisfy you forever. He does not let the addiction become your home. Instead, He shows you more clearly day by day that the habit is a dead end. He makes you feel restless. He makes you question yourself. He makes you realize that the thing you thought was helping you is actually making your life worse. And this realization is a big mercy. Many people stay stuck in addiction because the pleasure blinds them. But Allah is removing the blindfold for you. He is telling you, this is not where your happiness lies. This is not where your peace is hiding. This is not the path I designed for you. He wants you to understand that the emptiness you feel after the addiction is a sign that your heart is hungry for something real, something pure, something meaningful, something that addiction can never provide. Your heart is designed to find peace only in the remembrance of Allah. Anything else, no matter how powerful it feels in the moment, eventually reveals its emptiness. When Allah takes away the relief you used to feel from the addiction, He is preparing you for something greater. He is guiding you gently away from what harms you and toward what heals you. The loss of pleasure is not a punishment, it is an invitation. It is Allah telling you, my servant, the life you are seeking cannot be found in this habit. Come to me, for I am the one who gives true peace. 3. Allah sends repeated moments of clarity where you suddenly see the damage clearly. One of the most profound signs that Allah is calling you out of your addiction is when He gives you sudden moments of clarity, moments where the fog lifts, the illusion breaks, and you finally see the reality of what this habit is doing to you. These moments may not last long, but they hit your heart with a force that cannot be ignored. It is as if Allah is gently shaking your soul awake and saying, look at what this is costing you. You might be sitting alone one night and suddenly you feel overwhelmed with sadness about the direction your life is going. You might look at yourself in the mirror and recognize a version of you that you no longer want to be. You might wake up after falling into the addiction again and feel a deep ache in your chest, realizing this cycle is draining your happiness, harming your relationships, breaking your confidence, weakening your faith, and stealing your peace. These moments are not random. They are not emotional mood swings. They are divine messages, Allah showing you the truth before it becomes too late. In these moments, you see things with a clarity that is almost painful. You realize how much time you've lost. You notice how much of your potential has been buried under guilt and repetition. You start to see how your addiction affects your family, your health, your mind, and even your connection with Allah. You understand how exhausted your soul has become, how tired your heart is from carrying the shame, and how suffocating it feels to pretend everything is fine. These moments of clarity often come at times you least expect, after a small mistake, after a conversation with a loved one, after hearing a verse of the Quran, or even after watching a reminder video. In that moment, you feel a spark inside your heart, a realization that says, I can't live like this anymore. This is not who I want to be. Allah deserves better from me, and I deserve better for myself. That spark is from Allah. He places these feelings inside you so you cannot continue blindly. He wants you to see the destruction, not to shame you, but to save you. And notice something important. If Allah didn't love you, He would let you continue in the darkness without ever feeling the weight of it. He would let you be comfortable in your addiction, blind to its harm. But because He cares about your future, your soul, and your dignity, He keeps sending you these wake-up calls. Even if you ignore them at first, He sends them again and again, sometimes gently through sadness, sometimes strongly through consequences, but always with mercy. These moments are opportunities, not punishments. They are divine openings that remind you that you still have time to change, time to heal, time to rebuild, time to return to Allah with sincerity. They show you that despite your mistakes, your heart is still aware, your soul is still responsive, and Allah's guidance is still reaching you. When you experience these moments of clarity, understand that they are not coincidences. They are Allah saying, I haven't given up on you. I want you to recognize the damage so you can step toward the cure. These moments may hurt, but they are the beginning of healing. They are Allah's way of removing the darkness so you can finally see the path back to Him. 4. You keep getting pulled away from the people, places, or things that drag you deeper. Another powerful sign that Allah is sending you a message through your addiction is when He begins to distance you from the people, environments, and situations that keep pulling you deeper into that harmful cycle. At first, you may not understand why certain friendships start fading, why particular plans stop working out, why the places you used to go suddenly feel uncomfortable, or why the lifestyle that once seemed exciting now feels empty and dangerous. But with time, you begin to realize that this distancing is not random. It is Allah protecting you from the roads that lead to destruction. There are moments when Allah removes someone from your life because He knows that their influence is pushing you toward further harm. They might be the friend who encouraged the behavior, the group that normalized the sin, or the environment where your addiction thrived. You may feel confused or even hurt when these connections break, but later you realize that if Allah had not intervened, you would have continued sinking deeper without even realizing it. Losing those people is not a loss, it is divine intervention. Sometimes Allah allows plans to fail. You might try to meet someone who enables your addiction, but something always gets in the way. You may attempt to return to an environment where your habit was strongest, but suddenly you feel uneasy, unsafe, or uninterested. You may even experience embarrassing or uncomfortable situations that stop you from continuing the pattern. And while in the moment you might think, why is everything going wrong? The truth is that everything is going right. Allah is deliberately blocking your access to harm because He wants to redirect you to a better version of yourself. In some cases, Allah exposes your habit not to humiliate you, but to save you. He allows a small slip or moment of embarrassment to wake you up before something far worse happens. This exposure is often painful, but it is one of the greatest forms of mercy because it forces you to confront the reality you've been running from. When Allah protects a person, He sometimes removes their secrecy so they can no longer hide behind excuses. Another sign is the emotional distance you begin to feel from the very things that once controlled you. The friends who once felt like family now feel draining. The places where you used to feel comfortable now feel dark and heavy. The habits that used to excite you now leave you feeling hollow. This emotional separation is Allah removing the attachment from your heart. He is making the sin less attractive so your soul can finally breathe again. And the beautiful part is this: even if you didn't choose to walk away, Allah chooses it for you. Even when you don't have the strength to cut ties, He cuts them on your behalf. Even when you can't see the danger, He sees it clearly and diverts you. He removes the stepping stones that lead toward destruction and places new ones that lead toward healing. This is the kind of love Allah has for you, love that protects you even from yourself. You may think you are losing things, but in reality, you are being saved. Every friendship that fades, every habit that becomes uncomfortable, every plan that fails, every barrier that appears, these are signs that Allah is clearing your path. He is removing what harms you so He can replace it with something that nourishes your soul, strengthens your heart, and brings you closer to Him. When Allah pulls you away from harmful environments, He is not taking you backward. He is preparing you for a life where you can finally breathe, finally grow, finally heal, and finally become the person you were meant to be. Every separation is protection. Every closed door is mercy. Every loss is purification, and every distance you feel is Allah pulling you closer, even if you don't realize it yet. You start feeling an unexplainable desire to change, even while you're still struggling. One of the most beautiful and hopeful signs that Allah is sending you a message through your addiction is when you start feeling a quiet but powerful desire to change, even though you may still be deeply trapped in the habit. This desire doesn't come from your mind alone, nor from motivational words, nor from your environment. It is a spark placed directly by Allah inside your heart, a spark that whispers, you can do better, you can rise again, you can return to Allah no matter how many times you've fallen. You may still be repeating the addiction, still battling the same urges, still feeling weak and frustrated, but suddenly something inside you begins to shift. You start questioning your choices. You begin imagining a cleaner, healthier, more peaceful life. You start feeling tired of the cycle you're in. You begin longing for a day when you can finally break free